Welcome to another episode of real-life haunted stories. If you love chilling tales and spine-tingling horror stories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a scare. New nightmares drop every week. Stay haunted. So, let's start our today's episode. Today, I am sharing 5 terrifying real-life haunted graveyard stories that have frightened people for centuries. Story 1. The Curse of Chestnut Hill Cemetery, Rhode Island, USA. The ghost of Mercy Brown, the real-life vampire. In the late 19th century, the town of Exeter, Rhode Island, was struck by a tuberculosis outbreak. The Brown family suffered terribly. Mary Brown died first, followed by her daughter, Mary Olive. Then, Edwin Brown fell sick, and his younger sister, Mercy Brown, also succumbed. However, Mercy's death was different. When villagers exhumed her body from Chestnut Hill Cemetery in 1892, they found her corpse completely preserved, with blood in her heart, despite her being buried for months. The locals, convinced she was a vampire draining the life from her sick brother Edwin, performed a gruesome ritual. They burned Mercy's heart and liver, mixed the ashes with water, and made Edwin drink it, believing it would break the curse. Unfortunately, Edwin died soon after. Some say Mercy never truly left. Visitors report seeing a pale young woman wandering the cemetery at night, her eyes glowing red, her breath visible even in warm weather. Others claim to hear whispers in the wind or feel an unseen force pushing them away from her grave. Could Mercy Brown really have been a vampire? Story 2. The Haunted Gates of Stoll Cemetery, Kansas, USA. A gateway to hell. Stoll Cemetery in Kansas is one of the most infamous haunted places in the United States, believed by many to be one of the 7 gateways to hell. Legend has it that a hidden stairway beneath a ruined church in the cemetery leads directly to hell. It is said that twice a year, on Halloween and the spring equinox, the devil himself appears in the graveyard, accompanied by spirits who whisper in the ears of visitors. The most terrifying story involves a group of students who entered the cemetery one Halloween night. They mocked the legends, laughing as they stood near the church ruins. Then, one of them suddenly vanished. His friends searched for him all night, but he was nowhere to be found. The next morning, he reappeared in town, disoriented, claiming he had been in the cemetery for only a few minutes, while an entire night had passed in reality. Even today, people report hearing phantom footsteps, disembodied screams, and an eerie force pushing them away from certain gravestones. Some have even claimed to see shadow figures lurking behind the old church walls, watching them. Story 3. The Lady in White of Bachelor's Grove, Illinois, USA. A mysterious ghost captured on camera. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery near Chicago is one of the most haunted cemeteries in the world, with over 100 reports of ghostly sightings. The most famous spirit is the Lady in White, often seen sitting alone on a tombstone, dressed in an old-fashioned white dress, staring into the distance. In 1991, paranormal investigators captured a now famous photograph of this ghostly woman sitting on a gravestone. Experts analyzed the image and confirmed that there were no signs of tampering. Visitors also report strange lights, floating orbs, phantom horse-drawn carriages, and even an entire ghostly farmhouse that appears and disappears. Those who get too close say they feel an overwhelming sadness, followed by a sudden chill, as if the spirits of the forgotten graves are warning them to leave. Story 4. The Black Mausoleum and the Mackenzie poltergeist. Edinburgh, Scotland, a haunted tomb that attacks visitors. Greyfriars Kirkyard is one of the most terrifying cemeteries in the world, home to the Mackenzie poltergeist, a violent and aggressive spirit believed to be the ghost of Sir George Mackenzie, a brutal 17th century judge. Mackenzie was responsible for the torture and execution of over 1,000 Scottish Covenanters, imprisoning them in terrible conditions before their deaths. His tomb, known as the Black Mausoleum, is where most paranormal attacks occur. Since the 1990s, over 400 visitors have reported mysterious injuries, scratches, bruises, even bite marks appearing on their skin after visiting the mausoleum. Some have fainted, while others claim they were pushed or grabbed by unseen hands. The hauntings became so intense that the city locked the tomb, but that hasn't stopped the paranormal activity. To this day, tourists, ghost hunters, and even skeptics report feeling cold, hearing whispers, and sometimes seeing a dark shadow near the mausoleum. Some believe Mackenzie's evil spirit still torments the living, taking revenge on anyone who dares to disturb his final resting place. Story 5. The Ghost Bride of Resurrection Cemetery, Chicago, USA. Resurrection Mary, the most famous hitchhiking ghost. One of the most famous ghost stories in America is Resurrection Mary, a spirit that haunts Resurrection Cemetery in Illinois. The legend dates back to the 1930s, when a young woman named Mary attended a dance at the O'Henry Ballroom. After a fight with her date, she left the dance and began walking home along Archer Avenue. Tragically, she was struck and killed by a speeding car. The driver fled, leaving her to die alone on the roadside. Since then, countless drivers have reported picking up a beautiful young woman dressed in a white gown, walking along the road. She asks for a ride and gives an address. But when the driver reaches the cemetery's gates, Mary vanishes into thin air. One particularly chilling story involves a cab driver who picked up a young woman matching Mary's description. She gave him an address, but when he turned to speak to her, she was gone, her seat completely empty. When he knocked on the door of the address she had given, an elderly woman answered and told him, "That's impossible. Mary died years ago." To this day, people continue to see a mysterious young woman in white walking near Resurrection Cemetery, only for her to disappear before their eyes. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, to show your support, comment to share your thoughts or ask questions, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload.